Get Haunted, where you are the investigator. Get Haunted. Paranormal Investigations isn't a show. It's your experience. Join this premier paranormal event company for real investigations at some of the nation's most haunted locations. This isn't a tour. This is hands-on. You'll use real equipment, explore active sites, and dive into the unknown. No scripts, no actors, just you, the gear, and whatever's waiting in the dark. Perfect for both first-timers and seasoned ghost hunters. Each event is guided by experienced investigators. But the discoveries, they're yours to make. 2025 is already jam-packed with incredible locations across the nation. Space fills up fast, so make sure to book your tickets now. Dare to get haunted? Find your next investigation at gethaunted.com.
Well, here we are. It is Wednesday, and it is midweek. It's midday, and it's us and a few people. Gotta love it.
Us and a few. I see three right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi. Happy Wednesday to you.
Happy Wednesday. Yeah.
Did you survive? Clearly, you survived the snow apocalypse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not. I'm gonna keep it super real. Like, it's winter. I live in Michigan, and snow is not brand new. It's been around for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
So, I don't. It doesn't freak me out the way
Snow
it freaks people out.
is real. Yeah, here too.
Mm-hmm.
Snow is pretty common during the winter.
Yeah.
However, I don't know, living now more in a community than, in a single family home is different, right? It's it's sort of out of my control to get things done. So rather ill-equipped. Hi, Liam. So it was a little bit messy here in the last few days. However, once I was able to escape the confines of the compound here, it was like a totally different world. Like, I needed a tank to get out, but once I was out in civilization, it wasn't quite so bad. So
I'm not quite sure we got what you get. I always try to explain, Western Michigan gets hit because the storms gain some strength over Lake Michigan, and then it travels across the state. By the time it gets to Southeast, it's died down a little bit. It's not quite what you see on the west side, but then it picks back up over Lake Erie, and it bombards Western New York, Western Pennsylvania, as we know, and that sort of northwest tip of Ohio. It gets pretty bad.
I don't know. I just know here. It was, there were. You get the drifts, right? There were like Danny's car was almost buried, so we had really high spots, and then some really no big deal spots, but it was getting rid of the snow, right? Because there's not a lot of places to put it. Plus, apparently, the snowplow broke in the middle of the night here. They lost a couple of snow blowers. 2 of them went out, so we were kind of hosed. So today and tomorrow they're doing sort of this phased approach to moving snow around and clearing areas up. Chris Cash, hey. So I don't know.
Nashville got hit. I know you're not in Nashville, but I know Nashville got hit pretty bad. Tennessee got hit pretty bad. Exploding trees. It's funny. So it's funny how people, this is what you got to love about social media. Exploding trees. If you live somewhere like Michigan, this is something that is not new, and it's not quite the explosion people think it's going to be.
Oh
but
no, I watched a couple videos. I did see videos of trees exploding, and it's
okay,
not peaceful.
it's not peaceful, but people make it sound like it's a freaking bomb
Yeah,
going off, and it's not. And yes, sap and moisture does contract and expand, and things do happen. Hey, Tammy, it is. But it's weird when how social media takes this information and then turns it into this amazing big story and
big
exploding tree.
story.
Like they're acting like trees are popping off everywhere.
Yeah, but I just realized I have a case of water in the
Oh,
back of the truck that is probably.
it's ready to explode.
I call it a truck. It's more of an SUV.
Yeah.
I'm sure it already exploded. This happened last year. I'm gonna have to check that out. James Robert.
Just so everybody knows, go out to your local Chick-fil-A, get your classic cup, $3.99. I'm going to tell you something about this little cup. I like my cups, and I like my
I
ice.
know.
I constantly have liquid with. I'm iced tea from morning to night. I probably drink close to a pot and a half of iced tea a day. Like
It's
no
really
sugar. I just drink straight up unsweetened iced tea. These classic cups, they're plastic. I just want everybody to realize this. And this thing is filled with ice constantly. It's one thing that Rob hates to hear me do because I'm always like scooping it out and tossing it in.
it's like I'm in the ice machine with it.
It's a giant machine, but these things don't sweat. Just FYI, this cup does not sweat and it keeps my drinks cold. So kudos to you, Chick-fil-A. You can collect all four. They do every 2 weeks bring out a new cup. But this is the 1967 one.
Whatever. It's loud. I'm still not used to shift in perspective, but
I know I have to right? Like I know everybody in this house like it's got to be sweet tea. Nope, I am a straight up Louisiana like black tea, unsweetened, gotta be that's my jam. Yeah, it is like I'm providing. Listen, it's weird that I don't pee more than I do for the amount of iced tea that I drink.
okay.
I just don't. So yeah, you know what? The snow, the weather has been crazy, gets everybody stuck in their house and probably a little
Well, I did, I thought I was prepared, really. I didn't expect to be, well, that was the other thing. Couldn't really get out. I don't even know what day it is. Wednesday. Couldn't
Yeah.
really get out Monday.
Yeah.
I had bought enough cigarettes. Yeah, I still smoke to last me through Monday.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I was like, damn, I'm getting low. So I was going to try to venture out, but somebody decided to try to get back here in a Camaro, a rear wheel drive Camaro.
Yeah.
So that person ended up being stuck pretty much at the choke point to where you come into this development, and nobody was getting in or out and that was stuck for hours. They finally got it out.
Isn't it weird that somebody that actually drives a Camaro went, this is the perfect car for this weather?
Well, what they did apparently was they parked elsewhere because here you can pay for your own spots.
Okay.
Right? Hey, Mike, and Kent, you can pay for your own spots. And if you pay for your spot, they will come and shovel your spot, which is nice. Everything here is a upsell. So
a menu.
So I guess he thought his spot was ready. I don't know, but that was why that was that. So anyway, it's just been less than ideal, but I was able to get out and I was able to I was going to walk. I'm like, I'm not going to, you can't, Rob can't go without his smokes.
Yeah, I was actually frightened for a moment. He's like, I'm running low. It's like, this is not going to be a good meeting day.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It's not good. You're a little choppy. Sarah's got router box thingamajig issues. You're okay. Wait, where'd you go now?
I'm here. You can't hear me?
Oh, now I can. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Like,
I don't know. It's, the exploding trees. Maybe one exploded next to one of your
Xfinity.
internet provider
Yeah,
cables.
come on, Xfinity. Like, it's not a cheap bill, and you would think.
No, they suck actually, and they're the ones that remember when people couldn't get to the website. Xfinity will ban certain IP ranges. So people know, like it's a big deal. If there's a business, or let's say a scam business opens up on an IP range for Xfinity, that can get an entire IP range blacklisted from Xfinity routers if you're using, their security app. So there was a long while there where people from all over the country couldn't reach the Get Haunted website because Xfinity had us blacklisted. So it was a nightmare. It took a lot of work, but we finally got that fixed.
Before we move on, I do want to, because Leanne popped up, and I don't know if she is still here, but Leanne has her first book is out, Still Walking with the Unseen, I believe that book is called, and it's going to be on sale worldwide on February 1st. Congratulations to you, Leanne, for sharing your piece of the paranormal, the unseen, the magic, whatever you like to call it. She wrote this beautiful book, and she's just a beautiful person. Like, I love Leanne Eskew. Just her and Todd are incredible people. And I'm not on Facebook socially anymore, but I do skirt on there to get, things done for Get Haunted and for Paranormally Blonde. And, hold on, sorry. So when I saw that, I scrolled up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to write her. I need to congratulate her because that is so amazing. So Still Walking with the Unseen by Leanne Eskew will go on sale worldwide February 1st. So keep your eyes on Black Wolf Paranormal or Leanne Eskew, whoever you follow. I know they're going to probably have that out on the Pac-Man Paranormal pages.
Oh, yeah.
Probably the Real Ditto House page, wherever you can find the Eskews. But keep your eyes open and be sure to get your copy. Still Walking with the Unseen.
There's a lot of books I have to buy, apparently.
I know. Yes.
I'm like, because everybody, listen, a lot of people, like Ronnie LeBlanc, we'll talk about it. He's got a new book out. Leanne. We have Brian coming with his 2 books, and it's just like, oof.
Yeah.
A lot to do. A lot of
I
books.
know. I believe there's a lot of books coming. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you even have a book coming out eventually.
Oh, it might be happening.
Yeah. All right. Well, so we've been working. It's been on fire lately. Like, we have seriously, been getting our stuff together, getting, work done, getting the season is kicking off here very shortly on February 21st. But we have some events we want to talk about before we, as I just throw my scarf.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
That's it. That's okay. You can cut me off.
Yeah, let's put this up. Hold up. Here we go. All right. Speaking of books, right? That was sort of a great segue into this slide. The Ditto House is a little bit of confusion around this one. So I made this graphic on the left to maybe help some of that. But on May 15th, we are doing the second book release from Brian Peony. It's called Unpacking the Ditto House. It's the second book in the Get Haunted Tales series. I believe that's official. And that is centered around the Ditto House Inn, Denise and Ernie's home in West Point, Kentucky. So where better than to hold an investigation, a meet and greet followed by an investigation down there in West Point. And Charlie Ann will be there as well, just so you know. So the investigation piece sold out. Sorry, it's an amazing location, but we can only fit so many people in there for a mostly overnight paranormal investigation. There's no sleepover. You're going to come down. If you do the meet and greet, which I think is 5 to 7.
5 to 7 it is.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, you can come in. You can meet the characters in the book. Some of them. Bill will be there. Bill Bryan, Tanya, Sarah, Rob, Denise, Ernie, Red. There's a lot going on that day. But there's a meet and greet where, some whores divorce. And
I was like, wait, what?
That's hors d'oeuvres. That's hors d'oeuvres. You get a little tour of the house. It's just going to be a cool way to come and meet the folks involved in the book or subjects in the book. But tonight, I guess it's not exclusive anymore, but the world premiere of the book itself, the launch of the book, Bill Bryan will have Brian on his show to talk about it tonight at 9 p.m.
Yeah, and what's really kind of cool here, just if people don't know, if you didn't read the first These Walls Still Talk with Brian Paoni, which was the first of the Get Haunted Tales, Brian gets to go into these locations and basically lives and writes in these locations, which is such a cool opportunity. And then he includes people from the Get Haunted crew and sort of universe, and it's a really amazing thing to be able to know that he blends this, the real aspects with the real history, right? The real location, the real history, real people. And he also does include, so if he talks about a haunting in the book, although it might not be the actual experiencer that it's being written about, the experience itself is correct. And how it was shared with him. But he weaves it into the story itself. So I think it's such a great combination. So all history is real. He does not make up paranormal experiences. Those he does get from real live people that have experienced them. And then he shares them the way that they were shared to him. But through his storytelling abilities. So this is a great location, West Point, Kentucky, right there by Louisville. You can get in there, also right by Fort Knox. You can get in there, meet and greet 5 to 7, meet Brian, meet the people, meet the packs. The SQs will be there. I believe Squatchman's going to be there. These are all people you're going to want to meet. Hey, get your book signed by some of the folks that are in that book. It's a really cool opportunity.
I've been a bad son. I hadn't seen my mom in a while. She had been going to Barnes and Noble to try to get Brian's book, and they were sold out every time she went. So I brought her a copy. So she was all excited. She flipped right in. She's like, "Is Sarah in the book?" I was like, yeah, Mom, there's right there.
We love her.
So book number 2. Again, an honor. But come down to West Point. It's cool. It's a cool ass town. Yeah.
And what we also want to state is just because the investigation on May 15th, which this is a little departure for us because this is a Friday night investigation for us. We normally do Saturday. But we are going to be there the 15th, which is a Friday. So that don't be like, is that a typo? Did you get the date wrong? No, it is Friday, May 15th that we will be there. And yes, the investigation is sold out. The meet and greet is still there. $20 a ticket for the meet and greet. That's, you're going to meet Brian, the author, and those that were involved in the book. And like you said, a tour of the house. But don't fret. If you want to come down, do the meet and greet Friday night. Tickets aren't on sale yet for Saturday night, but that is the PAX Spirit Squatches and Stories Around the Campfire at Fort Duffield. So if you don't get tickets to the Friday night investigation, do not fret. Come to the meet and greet. Come hang out, meet us, talk to us before the investigation gets started Friday night, and know that Saturday you're in for something amazing to hang out with the SQs, the PAX, and Squatchman right there at Fort Duffield on Saturday night. So keep your eyes open for tickets to go on sale that night, which would be the 16th.
Leo's like, first he was snoring, and then he's like trying to nest or something on the couch. I couldn't figure out what he was doing. Hey, Candy.
We look forward
All
to
right,
seeing
so
it.
that takes care of that business and
Mhm.
hopefully clears up any confusion. Because a couple posts went out that it was sold out, and technically the investigation is, but the meet and greet is wide open.
Well, my last post was very clear. I
Okay.
do have it in bold that meet and greet was the only thing available and that the investigation was sold out, and only put up the link for the $20 ticket. So,
Okay, well, thank you for clarifying.
yes.
Good God. So, and I wasn't necessarily pointing at you. I was trying to be
No, I
diplomatic.
was just letting you know that there is some brand new post out that has very clear. Oh, there is
Oh wow, the
Dom,
kid. I haven't
the
seen
kid.
you in forever.
He's awake. He's
He's
awake.
awake. I know. I know. I do miss his little face.
I do miss his little face too.
All right, let's talk about the inner eye for a minute, because there was some confusion around this one too. I
Okay.
think. Well, I
Okay.
did receive a couple of questions or comments. With this one, we created a season pass, right, specifically
Good boy.
to for this series of events, which includes 4 of the events, and they're all at the Blairstown Masonic Lodge.
Mhm.
So if you're like hardcore dedicated to, coming to all 4 of these, we offered this season pass as a way to get them as at a little bit of a discount.
Mhm.
It does not mean that you can't purchase tickets individually. However, it does, those things affect each other. If 10 people buy season passes, that reduces the number of available tickets for the singular events by 10 people.
Mhm.
That's how that works. Um, but you don't need to purchase all of them at the same time through a season pass. You can onesie, twosie them. There are benefits to coming to all 4.
Yes.
One or two specific benefits, really. Plus, they're designed to build upon the last, right?
Mhm.
Um, so some people expressed a little bit of concern about, hey, if I just can't make the first one. If I come to
Mhm.
the second one, how can we get up to speed? So, and we have a plan for that now.
Yeah, we perfected it, I think.
I think it's perfected.
It's perfected. Yeah. And
So,
I do want to point this out. So when you see my post go out on this particular event, you will see I always do separate links. So I am specifically targeting February 21st, which is our kickoff and the first of the 4 of the Inner Eye series. So you will see the first link will be the season pass always, and it specifically states it. This is for the Inner Eye season pass. And then the second link will say this is for the February 21st or, series 1 or series 2, whatever, but it will be for that specific event. If you say you don't want the first one, but you want to buy number 3, you're going to have to go to extremeticking.com to do that. I'm trying to keep this as simplified as possible. So you can always get the season pass. It does give you a little bit better of a discount. These are not super expensive events themselves. They are $77.77. We do highly encourage that you go to all 4, as he stated, because these do build off of each other. You're not just building your toolbox out with each of these, you're building a relationship with a location, one each month, to sort of understand possible experiences or a place that holds possible paranormal experience, as well as building relationships with the same sort of group of people, building that energy. We have seen this in the past with New Egypt. When certain people come together, certain experiences tend to happen. And how do you dig into those and really start to explain them? You can't just walk away one time and be like, well, this is the explanation. We all know that's a sack of shit. You have to be able to dig into these more than once. And so this was a beautiful way, I think, to have an amazing location. And then, work with the same people. And then if you have participated in all 4, even if you had to miss one, but you participated in the makeup makeup, we'll just call that a little bit of a makeup course of the one that you missed. You will be invited to a location to be announced, to investigate as the Inner Eye Paranormal Core, where it is not an event. This is an exclusive investigation where we get together after we've worked together, and we go in and we use what we've learned, and we actually get to just investigate.
Yeah, and not have to be on point and talk and get into theory and get into discussion, which is what makes this fun. So, people were a little bit confused whether this is an event or a workshop, and it's a little bit of both. It's sort of a hybrid, right? So, we're kind of going to get into it a little bit, and then at the end of the night, there will be a light investigation.
Well, here's what I love about this, and maybe it's not we know this isn't for everybody. It's why, to be able to do this in this particular location, Masonic Lodge number 165, having a more intimate setting, being able to work with just, a handful. I believe we capped this off at 14. And then with a few crew, right? We're going to be under 20 people in this location. But what's beautiful about this to me is, a lot of times as somebody that goes out and explores or investigates the paranormal, we walk in and we sort of, there's not a lot of humbling that goes on. We kind of walk in and we act like we know everything. And I think what I love about this particular series of events is we get to me, be actual, not just investigators and researchers and explorers, but like really to what the words mean, right? Getting in there and learning, like hands-on learning as we're going to investigate, hearing other points of perceptions and thoughts and theories before we get started, and dig into as much as we possibly can. I think that's what's really cool. We're not going to go in there and go, look at us, we just slayed a ghost and we just know it all. We don't. We want to work with everybody, and we want to understand what it means to you, what it means to us, what can happen when you kind of put those thoughts and theories out there. And especially because we're going to be doing a lot of conversating, we know for a fact that when we're having these conversations, and we're not even trying to use that as a tool, but when we have these conversations at events, Rob, we've seen equipment react, whether it's reacting to us, we're not saying it's paranormal, but whether it's reacting to our energy, or if we're stirring up energy of the location, whatever it may be, we have seen conversations clearly spike.
It happened recently. I was with Tom Bolter actually at a different lodge, and we got into one particular story, and Tom's like, I'm putting the cat balls out. Yeah. Right. And as I tell him a story, this cat ball starts going. I get it. It's a cat ball. It doesn't mean shit, but it is interesting. Yeah. With the timing and where these things tend to react inside of different stories. For me, Tom runs events at this lodge, and it is alleged to be haunted. So we went out there, I think it was October. And I remember walking in, and I never really spent any time studying what Freemasons are about, what a Masonic lodge really even does, or what it serves. Kind of got it, but I didn't get it, right? There's a lot of mysticism around it and whatnot, and secrecy. But walking in, I was like, okay, it was a cool place. It's basically a banquet hall underneath, but up top is the lodge. And I don't know, it just clicked, because understanding, how the Freemasons use symbolism and ritual to, become better people, or, that's the ultimate goal, is really kind of what the paranormal is for people. So it just all clicked. I'm like, we got to do something like making sense here. And then we talked, and that's how this whole thing was born. So to me, it's the perfect location to do it, because we have sort of the like business end, and then the fun end is upstairs. It's just cool, and it's
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. So the first one is really about getting to understand your connection with energy yourself. So it is stripping it all back, and let's start with us, and really from the beginning of time, and how and what humans were experiencing. Just again, there are so many great documentaries pre us that really do show how important these connections truly are, especially after death. And so I love that we're going to strip it back, and we're going to start with us, and stop and be like, okay, it's shed that, you're going to see that on Paranormally Blonde, a lot of shedding the social media bullshit, shedding this concept of having to constantly emulate people who are on TV or YouTube or whatever. And it's about getting back to yourself. So yeah, we're going to have some great conversations. These conversations are for all of us to have. We're having basically a board meeting, in the paranormal. We're going to sit down and we're going to talk about what it all means to us. Your voices are very important in this conversation. This is not us talking at you. This is us talking together, talking with you, and learning about you, and you learning about us. And I think we're going to see some, personally, I think we're going to see some really cool revelations and reminders of being human again, and enjoying what it is we do, right? Like what has us captivated? Why are we even in this? Like, why do we put up with the shit we put up with, to want to keep digging into this? Because there's something that is just, it's in us, it's in our DNA. And I think this is just an option. We're not saying this is the end all. This is an option to dig into this. Just the beginning.
Yeah. I'm excited for it. There was one particular person that sort of kind of spawned it, and they will be attending. So I'm excited. I'm happy for it. You get your own there's little giveaways and whatnot. It's sort of, it's not your usual.
Yeah.
So let's put it that way. And it is not for everybody. However, you also don't need to be a paranormal investigator. You could be a person that's curious about it. And there's so much conflicting and contradictory and confusing information out there about what the right way is, or what the wrong way is, which if you've followed us for any amount of time, that's not how we roll. So this could be a good way for you to get in touch with what might work for you. So we'll leave it at that. It's good. It's very well thought out. At least the first one.
No, I think it's the whole concept is there to be buildable, to be fluid. I think that's what we're not seeing in the paranormal, is the fluidity in which life is, right? And what possibly death is. And really, we don't, our concept of death. And I think this is where we come together and just talk. And the things that you will be given are for you and for your eyes only, not for anything for us to grade, or, this is really about getting together and having, I think, more adult conversations that are, it's like, drop the performative. I know that's my new word right now, drop the performative, and understand what it is you're truly interested in. Because I have a feeling, I've got my piece for the first one. Some of the things that I'm thinking of and the questions that I'm thinking of, you know how I feel about this. I think a lot of times we think one thing, and we're like, oh, this is what we think the topic is, or what our sort of our main goal is. And I think when you start to break it down and ask yourself questions, and you pull out the bullshit, you might realize that there's a deeper meaning for you than you even ever realized, or a meaning that you had placed somewhere else is actually connected to your sort of exploration into the paranormal.
Yeah, and I would like to state there will be, at least on the first one, more Sarah and Brittany than Rob. That's what I want. So you can be rest assured. I'll be there, and there are pieces where I have input, but
Mm-hmm.
this is more. They have a bigger role in this first one. So Blairstown Masonic Lodge. That's in Blairstown, New Jersey, which is where they filmed Friday the 13th. There's all
Mm-hmm.
kinds of cool things to do there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Hopefully the weather holds and it doesn't become an issue for us, but I doubt it will. So, moving on, moving
Mm-hmm.
on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Get Haunted Midwest. And I'm not sure this is Chris's first one. I just grabbed it because I don't know why I love that picture of Chris.
It's a great picture, yeah.
Exploring, but they've got the Stone Mansion in Winchester, Indiana, that you guys should go check out. Get Haunted Midwest. While Chris really follows the format in the standards of any Get Haunted event, he adds his own crazy twists to some of these things. So you go check out Get Haunted Midwest. Check out his events. They're all listed on extremeticketing.com.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And support him. He's a great dude. Go ahead.
He brings, Chris brings, I'm surprised he's not here today. Chris brings a whole new crazy cool element to the Get Haunted mission. And I love this about working with Chris. You've heard us a million times say this. He is so crazy creative, and his executions are so amazing, that I love that he really follows the mission of Get Haunted, but how he expresses it is so horror road trip, in the sense of the creativity on how he gets you to sort of connect his creative storytelling to a location to bring out what the location may have for you, which I love how it's sort of, it's not a one and done with a lot of these. Chris does carry these stories throughout the season, and it's a beautiful way to do it. And it's one thing that I do love about what we do, and where there's some misconception. We love sharing the talents of other people and what they bring. The mission for us is always about bridging the community, bringing the different concepts and uh, practices together, but making sure it's about sharing it with the community, making that community a little bit larger so you can see the different sides of it, not just one side. So I love what he does. I do hope to get to one of his investigations this year. I really do want to.
I know. That's the hard part, right? There's so many that I want to jump into, especially his Broadwell.
Yeah. Oh God, I do want to go to the funeral home so bad.
I know. So check Chris out. Check out Get Haunted Midwest. Support him. Support his mission there.
Yeah.
And then you may have seen on the Get Haunted network page, Ronnie posting up his new book, Interdimensional. Get Haunted is mentioned in there. Bill Bryan, Kaylee are mentioned. They're actually in the book. And it's my understanding, I don't have the book yet, so I'm going to have to get it now, is that it is about this interdimensional concept of cryptids, in particular Bigfoot, Squatch, whatever you call it. And yeah, I personally was introduced to that concept, the interdimensional concept, by Denise, Ernie, Leanne, Todd, Squatchman, and it just does make the most sense to me, right? So I was kind of digging that whole thing. It made the most sense to me. And then we did the trifecta at the Shanley Hotel in New York, with Ronnie. He came along with us, and we spent a night doing ghost hunting, a night on the alien piece, and then Order 65, and then a night with or a day really, doing some Bigfoot. what happened on that weekend during the trifecta was truly, for me, one of my proudest events. Sadly, you couldn't be there, but watching everybody sit down and talk, and Bill sort of get converted from flesh and blood to interdimensional, watching everybody interact. And it's kind of how I hope this Blairstown thing goes. So check out Ronnie's new book. He's been posting away at it. He's a great guy, and he's cool as shit. And his thoughts and theories on Bigfoot are, he was on TV talking about that for quite some time. So check it out. Get Haunted gets the nod in there. Bill and Kaylee get a mention. So I didn't even know until I saw Bill post about it. And I'm like, dude, congrats. And he's like, oh no, he says it was a Get Haunted event and this and that. I'm like, fuck, I didn't know. Thanks,
that's such a, thank you, Ronnie. It's such a beautiful, it's not about the, like, oh my gosh, our name's in a book. That's not really what it's about. No, for
5 books.
Yeah, for us, like, I think it's the helping to understand that what our aim is the conversation, not to control the narrative, not to control the conversation. It's about expanding it with all of you. That's why I stepped in at all. Being in the network sort of opened that up for me when I first met everybody in 2021. And, it's always been an important piece to me. It's been that opening of the conversation. So to be able to have that with Ronnie or anybody that, it meant enough. It meant something to them that they saw what it is we were doing. It doesn't matter what everybody else, how you want to spin it. This is what it's about. That is so cool to me because that's Ronnie's. That's not my necessarily point of interest. I don't dig that far into all of that stuff. I love doing it with the packs. It's been so interesting. But I certainly am not super well versed in it. But to know that the conversations clearly meant something to him and what we were doing meant something to him enough that he gave it a nod that's a big thing for the community itself. You should understand how big that is, that your conversations mean something.
Well, I do believe that people, tend to find their calling because they are connected to something. There was a weird point during that CE5 that night that I wasn't sure how that was going to go. I was a little worried about it. But I was sitting in my spot and Ronnie was 4 or 5 feet away in his. And we had enough people witness some of the lights and things that were happening. But during the CE5, there was a moment, like, I swear, I saw somebody standing, like, right between me and Ronnie. Ronnie was just digging it, man. He was just like, this is so cool. But I do believe he's connected to something somewhere. It was a brief second that I saw this being, and I was like, what the hell? Like, it was wild. Like, afterwards, Bill and I, like when you see things and you just need someone to confirm it. We were just like, he was like, dude, did you just see that up at the low? I'm like, yeah, I saw the same thing. It was a really cool night. And we ended up doing another one last year, I think, down in Kentucky at Fort Duffield. So, and now too, the C5 piece was freaking weird. That piece was super weird for me. I don't know, but I'm excited to get that book and dig into it a little bit. If I can find some time to actually read something, would be great. But so that's sort of the big news from the Rob side, or the slides I need at least.
Well, it's all great news for the Get Haunted side for sure. So I've been, there's been I think a noticeable not that it probably mattered for most, but probably a noticeable drop on the paranormally blonde side as far as, what it is I love to do in the paranormal, and that is to share great conversations with you guys. I haven't done a regular paranormally blonde show in a long time, just because there's just so much going on constantly. And then, of course, personal things come up and health things come up, and always, your physical and your mental health should always come first. But I'm kind of hey, Stephen, getting back in there. You probably saw some new logos. That's for the Clubhouse conversations. Those are more personal conversations and more. So I guess what I was really trying to do with that was, and it's great when people have these amazing podcasts and shows, and you're putting people on, and you're talking about their team and their events and their books and their whatever they're sort of promoting at that moment, and that's amazing. And I love all of that for everyone. I think that is, I never want to downplay what somebody is being productive in on the positive side, but what I really want to know is you. And I think that is, where I have fallen with social media and have fought with for a while here is I just don't give two flying shits about algorithms and, viral, don't give a fuck. What I do care about is the conversations we have that we learn off of each other. And I've gone in a couple different directions. We're looking kind of for a new landing pad for the Clubhouse to make sure that it is a comfortable space for us to have more meaningful conversations. That's great. This is what you experience. This is what this is what you caught it on, that piece of equipment. That's great. There are so many shows that are out there killing it with that, and I love it. But I want to go past that. I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about the things that, life, death, and the paranormal, and what that means to us on our daily lives, not just those big, crazy bucket list locations we go to, right? So I'm super excited about that. And so you might see some new conversations popping up on Paranormally Blonde. Yesterday, I've been thinking about the word, Rob, and I've been having this thought in my head for a while. And we keep using the word investigator. And we even see it.
I do.
Well, all of us, I think, in the paranormal, right? You keep saying investigator.
Well, that's what I'm like, what I do.
No. It's just, I've used the words, right? When people ask you to be on a show or to whatever the situation is, right? We see that term sort of used, and it's always used with this capital I. And in my post, I talk about it. We use it with an authority, like it's gonna, I'm an investigator. And I even thought about this when I'm having personal conversations with people, and they're like, "Oh, so you ghost hunt?" Oh no, ghost hunt sounds kind of just like funsies. And oh, you're an investigator. Well, I've used the word, right? And I really thought about it because I think we've really kind of watered down that word.
Amongst many. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's sort of like saying, you're an investigative journalist on YouTube. And, it's like we water down these terms because what we see not happening is what those words truly mean, right? The formal investigation and things that come along with a formal investigation, not just grabbing content, right? Not just saying, look what I've done with my team, but actually sitting down. And I would assume as investigators, right? Even when you talk about like detectives, like actual detectives and investigators at police department, they don't just keep it to themselves and go, look what I did. They go through, right, databases and other detectives and other departments, and they work with higher ups and lower down. Like it doesn't just end with them. And
right, they ask questions, they look at all angles, they do research, they gather actual evidence, right, that they try to prove. So I was looking at words. I was like, and I broke down. I actually wrote Rob. I'm like, okay, I'm looking for a word for my post. I had my post written, and I was like, what is this word I'm looking for? So I actually broke down, and I used Chat GPT. And I put in my question.
the best to put it in, I'm like, how much what are you supposed to say to Chat GPT? How much?
You don't have to be polite. And I need people to understand that, but go ahead. Because I've seen people send me their prompts like, and they're like, could you please? It's
yeah. So I was just, in fact, let me see, did I take a picture of this? I think I took a picture of this. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Because it made me laugh. It was like,
it did talk to you like you were friends. So
and I don't use it.
It never did that to me ever. It wasn't like, oh, bro, man, look, here's how you do this.
I don't use Chat GPT. I know you like to use it to ask questions. I don't use it. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to ask it. So I was like, looking for a word that has to do with exploring the paranormal, but, can't prove it. So what's a good word to describe with our own perception? And it literally, first thing it said to me was, several O's. I really like this question. And then it went on to give me a couple words, what to use. And one of those words, here, I'll pull this. And it to me, it felt really correct, right? Like I felt like, that's really sort of the word I'm looking for. So this is the word that it came up with for me. And it makes the most sense because, this is sort of where the clubhouse conversations are going to go. Because the phenom of when we talk about life, death, and the paranormal, right? It's a phenomenon, really. Whether it's us producing that experience, right? Or if something from the other side is, and why I sort of have landed where I have with having these conversations with people is that to take those experiences away from people for what purpose, right? And that is, I do have some stuff that I'm going to talk about at the Inner Eye that talks about what kind of investigator are you? Hey, Brandy. But this is where I sort of land because, I think about when my mom passed, I got to spend her last week with her. I was there with her. My dad had to go back to work. We did not know she was passing. I was just there to help out so my dad could go back to work. And I had 5 days alone with my mom. And then she went into the hospital, and of course we got everybody else there, and we got to watch her take her last breath. It's a beautifully haunting moment. And when we finally left the hospital and walked in the house, the kitchen light bulb exploded at that moment. Now, light bulbs explode, but when somebody shares those moments with you, and I know what that moment meant for me, like, what would be the point of taking that and just kind of tearing that apart for that moment?
Because, I won't comment.
Right. So I like that term for how I want to discuss things, because when you can sit down, right? Like most people might say, oh, my mom died, or somebody passed, I walked in and then a light bulb exploded. But what you don't know, and what we don't ever ask, and what somebody might really want to talk to you about, is what led up to that moment. What was that week for me? Was that me walking in, and after a week of spending time watching my mother decline, when that was not what I was thinking I was coming home for? Was it my own energy? Sort of.
I mean, who's to say it's not?
Yeah, we don't know, right? So we never go that extra mile with anyone. What do? Especially with social media. Oh, here's a person I don't like. I'm going to take their shit and I'm going to tear it apart. Oh, here's somebody that's ridiculous because I don't believe that what they believe. We don't go further. And the further we go with social media, the further we get away from humanity. And death is one of the most human things we experience, right? And so being born, dying. So why not have those conversations? Why not sit down together? And I'm going to be starting all of this off with my friends, people that I want to sit down and that have agreed to sort of help me bring Paranormally Blonde back to the conversation. And learning more about who it is that is out there sort of sharing for more than clicks, right? Sharing for more than views. Some of us are out there trying to share to make connections, to broaden their own explorations, or maybe they have questions about their beliefs or something that happened to them. So it's just, it's not life, death, and the paranormal is not black and white.
No. And I do believe it's more than people think that are out there, with that mindset. It's not, it's not the TV shows. It's not, the carefully crafted stories of, over decades and how things can change and they become part of lore. I think it's more than that.
And I don't think we ask enough questions in the sense of, even those who don't believe, have you ever really dug into why somebody really doesn't believe something? And if you really listen to what people are saying, I think when somebody then says, this is what I don't believe, like we get so offended, if they believe or don't believe something. And I think when we can even understand where the non-belief comes from, you don't have to love it, but I think it's a better understanding to where that person is coming from when they're joining in on a conversation. I think in today's world, and especially because we do everything on social media, from conversations to our news source, which I cannot figure out why anybody would use social media as your news source, especially YouTube. What is it like? Like, we need to remember that there are stories bigger than somebody's one experience.
Yeah.
And that's what I hope the Clubhouse really is going to be about. It's about going back to that, when we were kids, right? We all have that one space, that we would maybe gather with our friends and could have chats with, that you kind of like, okay, let's talk about this. And maybe it wasn't quite that deep, but it felt deep at the time. And I'm kind of hoping that's what Clubhouse does, is it kind of opens up that space for people where they're okay to answer some of those questions. Again, this is not about, it's not about digging out anything as, it's not to weaponize it. It's to understand. And I think this is where we've lost a little bit from social media, right? There's the weaponization of information, and then there's the understanding, the comprehension, the actual act of listening, and right, having those conversations to build on. So I'm proud of this particular thing. I think in my time of doing shows, they're not really podcasts. They've never really been podcasts, I don't think. Doing these shows, I was asked to do a show with two other women, and then it was two of us, and then it kind of became me. I think in the very beginning, I think it's always what I wanted. I've always wanted the conversation. I've just wanted a conversation. Not to talk at you, right? Not to talk at you, to talk with you.
Hey, Ryan. Yeah, God, ever since I met you and started watching Paranormal Blonde, that's always been what it is. And I mean, I'll be honest, I think it's thrown some of your guests off, right? Because they're used to the, that usual checklist of questions. What was your favorite location? What got you into the paranormal? What's your best piece of evidence? All that.
What's your favorite location?
Are you asking me?
No, I was just meaning that's like another one of the questions you hear a lot. Like, what's your favorite location?
I already said that.
Okay.
You were not listening.
I wasn't. Maybe I wasn't listening right there.
I tell you, that's why you threw me off, because I'm like, so I do think you've thrown some of your guests off, because they're like, holy shit, like somebody's asking me about me, and I don't know if everybody knows how to handle that, because they've sort of created a character, right, for their interviews, whether it's a podcast, TV, whatever. Which is also why I think, when we're doing Seek with Your Soul, it's hard to find people to come on and really, truly be honest, publicly. Behind the scenes, some of them were very different than what we saw on the show. So it's an interesting phenomenology.
Yeah, you say it way better than me. Like, why would I pick the hardest word, right? Hey, Chris, we were just talking about you. So yeah, I think, I think those are the things for me. And that is one of the reasons why I'm starting with really my friends that I know, because I think we have been duped a little bit, not on purpose, but when somebody has sort of a reputation and or sort of a persona to uphold, either because of an agent, a network, or something that they're sort of building, or they're monetized on, right? They're not gonna then say, okay, well, what I really believe is, like, they're just not, right? And I'm not really looking, that's not what I'm really looking for. I think what I'm looking for, and I think this is where social media has really fucked everyone, is you're not yourself. And when you are yourself, somebody takes that and then twist it to something that actually it rivals 13-year-old fan fiction. So it's a weird thing to me that, I feel like and I know it's not going to gain traction, right? Like, I know it's not going to be this thing that, oh my God, it's the new hottest thing.
You don't know it. It may take time.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not. It's going to suck. And
no, that's not what I'm saying.
Should show up, right? And
stop. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's going to suck. What I'm going to say is, I don't think that this does not land in entertainment. This is not entertainment content. This is actually trying to make some connections here, and hopefully, which I think is Seek with Your Soul, and why we're taking it on the road. It is about understanding the human aspects of what it is we're out there doing. And I think when we stop and we say, okay, wait, you know what? I mean, look, there are times I can go to a location and investigate, and it's just purely for shits and giggles. It's just to have fun. It's just to get scared. It's not everything I do in life is me going, oh my God, why did I choose a grilled cheese sandwich today? There must be a deeper meaning. It's not how the fuck I work. But there are things in our life that I think when we stop and understand what did make me go to this deeper place, and is there a deeper meaning? I think that's where I'm at for myself. And I don't think I'm alone in this.
You're not.
So you don't have to be in it for the Jesus spoken. Right? Like, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be in the paranormal for years. You don't have to even be in the paranormal, because life and death does happen, and experiences, connection. Like, one of the things I want to talk about is, we've said this before, how come certain locations, right? Like, old man Charlie died and he was such a dick, and we all talk about his haunting and what he's out there doing, and he scratches people and he pushes people down the stairs when they're at his location. But then, like, your grandma Sally dies and she's just the sweetest little pea on the planet, and she's just your angel. She's not a ghost. Like, there are questions that I have, like, why do we think the children of the Valesque house are some sort of ghosts that are going to just keep coming back for you because you paid for an investigation, but somebody else's child dies and we have to hold that in reverence? I'm very confused by this mindset of who gets what billing and who called it. Like, what is that? Like, we talk about this respect with the ghost, but we really, like, don't you dare call on, my grandma. Don't call my grandpa Ben, because he's off limits. But that dude over there, we're gonna fuck with him all day long. We're going to his location. So I have questions. And I want to talk about it. You're like, oh God.
Yeah, we're over an hour, so this is where it starts getting dangerous.
Oh, it does? Is this dangerous?
Yeah. No, it's not dangerous. No, because, like, when you get going, and then it's,
are you trying to hold back? Is that what you're saying? Okay. But I just know, Stephen Kometz, if you're still here, I know he's going to be a guest on the show. He's going to be fantastic and fabulous. They're not even guests. They're my friends. They're my friends on the show. But these are sort of the things that I want to go into. And have we ever stopped? Like, I don't know. Like, would my grandma ever be like, I'm gonna push this bitch down the stairs? Like, I'm curious. Like, the only way I can get her attention.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But at the same time, all you have to do is say, you're not allowed to go home with me.
Is that all you have to say?
Okay. That's all you got to say when you leave a location.
Yeah.
You must stay here and you're not allowed to go home with me. And they're like, fuck. See, this is what's going to happen.
I was about to get in the car, but then they couldn't.
Yeah, what was it? I was watching this. It's actually a pretty kind of entertaining movie, but it's like these people end up in like this haunted location and they're being attacked by these things, but there's like this barrier around it. So it's sort of the reversal of that.
Yeah.
Look.
Well, look, and we like sometimes we'll be doing whatever, coming up with an event, whatever. Sometimes this is how the events happen. But these questions, they perplex me. I think the more bars included, I think the more I investigate with so many more people in the public and the more we see on social media, I start to have bigger, like we're fighting about, I think it's the fights that get my thought process going when we see people sort of fighting for certain locations and what I mean by that is about the hauntings in those locations. And then I start to think like, the tragedies that happen every day in this world, but how we sort of say like, well, no, this is history. So therefore this is going to be a haunting, but everything is history. Everything we do every day becomes a piece of history for someone. So,
God, yeah.
So I wonder,
you're frozen.
like why am I back yet? Am I back?
You're bowing. All right, you're back.
Back. Okay. I do. I know people have talked about like what makes a haunting, but, and it does go back to the stories that we just, maybe we just don't talk about Grandma Sally enough. Maybe if we talked about her and made her the forefront, she'd be like, yep.
Well, it's the egregore everybody talks about. And I want to be clear, right, I was not saying that the action is of saying you can't come home with me is invalid or that you shouldn't do it. But that is truly an intent type of thing, right? So we can't, in that situation, I think a lot of people they're giving themselves the power, but just not in the right way.
So would you say so in the practice of Reiki, when you work with someone, everybody has sort of their closeout session. My closeout session, I learned from somebody that I had some amazing sessions with. And her thing was always afterwards, she would go wash her hands in cold water because it sort of breaks her out of that. So I took that on as mine because I thought it was it's such a, like, you have to consciously go, okay, we're done here. I'm not going to excuse myself. I'm going to get ice cold water and wash my hands. And I would kind of be like, okay, you're done. Right. So you sort of break that connection of, I walked away, I went to another room and used something that was a little jarring. So is that sort of what you're talking about by saying that phrase?
It's a ritual and an intent, right? Ritual in the sense, and for the critics, you like literally look up the word. A ritual doesn't mean that it's satanic or culty. It's a ritual. And when you do rituals, you are setting an intent. It's that simple. But I think some people don't understand that the intent that they're setting by saying you can't come home with me doesn't mean that they have dominance over the other side, right? Because if they can come at you and push you down, if Granny can push you down the stairs,
Yeah.
then why the hell would she just be? She'd be like, oh, okay. Oh, I'm not. Uh-oh, Wade Kirby is in the house.
Oh, look at Wade. Hey, Wade.
It depends on the spirit. It's very attached to the location, but it always is a powerful affirming idea to say that. Correct. So, but I guess the question is for who, Wade? And it's like Wade should come to the clubhouse, right? For who? Is it for the spirit or is it for you, right? So if I walk into a location and I'm like, I'm not letting them get to me this time. No thanks. And I go in with a mindset and an intent.
Yeah.
It's anyway. Let's save this for the clubhouse. I
know, but I have, and I want to talk to you about my next post that I want to do for Paranormally Blonde because, and it was thanks to Eric. If you guys don't follow the Iron Gate Home for Haunted, oh my God, items. What is it? Iron Gate, the Home for Haunted.
Relics.
Thank you. Because I do now. I have a question about relics, dolls in particular, but any relic really. I have a question about that and what could this be a possible thought or theory? Well, it's a thought, that's for freaking sure, but could it be a possible theory into what that really means? So yeah, like I just have so much and I just can't wait to be able to sit down with friends and talk about things that I want to talk about.
Well, it's yeah. I'm shut up. Yes.
Yes. So
now we have viewers at an hour and 11. So
yeah, maybe everybody's like, can you do it at 2 now? Maybe it's time to change some stuff. So yeah, we got things we got going on. We've got great events coming up. We've got a lot of people writing a lot of books and we can't wait to see that stuff come out. We have some amazing thought-provoking, I think, posts going out from a lot of the social media crew. It is to get you guys talking. It's really what it's about. It's not about, again, it's not talking at you, it's talking with you. And we want to create bigger conversations. So yeah, join us over there at the Get Haunted Network and or the main page. And if you don't mind going over to Paranormally Blonde and joining in on the conversation, if you so feel drawn. If you don't, that's okay too. The people that are talking, it's been great. It's been great to have those conversations. So yeah, I'm reading Wade's thing. Hold on.
Oh, I was putting it up. You got it. Spirits have beliefs too.
They might
believe in us.
That's Rick McCallum's book. Hey, McGray. Did you guys catch his post? I did. He was the spotlight of our Get Haunted merchandise post this week.
He looked good in it too. He looked handsome.
Well, he wasn't wearing
it. And then he made a post where he's in a video. And I did, at first, Jason, I was going to be funny. But I was also like, he might know these people. So I'm not going to be funny. I'll do it privately.
You held back.
I held back. I showed restraint.
Yeah.
I used common sense.
The ghost on ghost crime makes me... Who's ghost crime? This ghost on ghost crime makes me sick.
Oh, ghost on ghost.
Oh, ghost on ghost crime. Not ghost on ghost crime.
This is where punctuation... We had this chat the other day too, Sarah, because punctuation is very important sometimes.
Oh, all right. Yeah, we're at an hour 15 and nobody wants to hear.
And my coffee's getting cold.
Yeah, who wants to hear this squabble? Maybe that will have to be a whole different live. I don't know.
We should. If you want, tell pay-per-view Rob and Sara arguments. Type 3 in the comments. Type the number 3.
And now Brittany might be able to ring in as well.
She saw one.
She was in it. What do you mean she saw
right,
it?
Well, we don't need to talk about that. It really wasn't an argument.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, so as you saw, we have February 21st is, of course, the first of the Inner Eye, the 4-part series, the Inner Eye. Get your tickets. You can get the season pass. You do not have to. You can buy them one event at a time. If you do miss one of the events, there is a way to make that up, and we're super excited to share that shortly. Also, don't forget tonight, I believe 8 p.m. you can see Brian Paone premiere his newest 9 p.m. Eastern time. You can watch Brian Paone on The Haunted Casket with Bill Bryan and Trevor. Faith, please check that out. Also, we only have in May 15th, which is a Friday, we only have meet and greet left for the Ditto House event. That is the meet and greet to meet Brian and to get your next copy of the book. So come and do that. And with that, folks, it is time to have a snack and get back to doing what we do best. And that is actually working on our events and getting things ready for you, the community.
Yeah. We need to sell out a couple more, people. I like putting these sold out up, so help a brother out. Get a couple more sold out for me. Thanks.
Yeah. So with that, you guys know what we always say here. We see you. We do. We certainly appreciate you. Thank you so much for being the good in the community. Thank you for always encouraging positive and productive conversations. We love you. We really do. Thank you. And here we go with the 2026 event season for Get Haunted and Get Haunted Midwest. Go check out Extreme Ticketing to get your next big adventure with either Get Haunted or Get Haunted Midwest. And with that, peace out. Have a great week, and we will see you soon.